close. So to be honest, for this tournament, being this far down the line, these guys have been playing for a long time today, and this is their final match. And what is on the line, it's still going to be anyone's result. I personally will say it is impossible to call. Yeah, and that's kind of what we're hoping to see, right? We know this is the end for the day for these guys. This will be the last match of the broadcast, last match for these guys at the very least on the European side of things. And we're looking to get underway, both of them starting with Nyx. Raisy bringing in Nyx, Sorlag, and Anarchy, and k1llsen with Nyx, Sorlag, and Slash, which is not surprising to see considering it is k1llsen. There's the aggressive Ghost Walk to try and chase a kill early, but no one home just yet. Has been able to catch sight down here, likely to be a guaranteed frag, and it is indeed. k1llsen smells blood and secures that first blood because of it. Raisy goes down immediately, losing that Nyx. We know Raisy's kind of strength mainly lies in his Sorlag, but whereas k1llsen, I mean, I think it's safe to say k1llsen's favorite champion being Nyx. He has a grid Sorlag. His slash movement is just some of that crispy slash movement you all expect to see, you all look forward to seeing when you see this champion locked in. That being said, we know Raisy is very powerful at this game at the moment. Sorlag definitely probably being, I'd say, arguably his strongest, but definitely doesn't mean he's got weak champions in comparison. Definitely is a complete team. Dedicating to the fight. k1llsen using that defensive Ghost Walk just to try and stay alive. Raisy, I think, just trying to get out of dodge. Doesn't want to deal with that at all. But I feel like one element here that we're seeing with k1llsen that's making him so dangerous currently in Quake is that one thing he's really started to, I guess, practice is how to execute a really good one-on-one fight using the Quake champions mechanics. And a big part of that is, you know, using like champion abilities like Sorlag in conjunction with already good Quake fundamentals. So that's what k1llsen has been doing so well recently, is he's picking champions that fit the game really well, that fit his style really well, but at the same time, he's got the map control and the reads and the experience of a seasoned Quake veteran that I think is proving currently to be a really dangerous combination. Oh, talking about map control, currently picking up that mega health when he is in the lead, even though it's temporarily, is huge. Gonna hit that mid-air rail, very unlikely to miss those. On an Anarchy too, I mean, Anarchy has got that increased air movement, so it's not as easy to hit him off a jump pad, but if he's going in a straight line like that, definitely. Still though, we know k1llsen is in the lead, just constantly trying to chip down Raisy as he goes. Lovely direct, but that rail missing. See how fast that made Anarchy start to go. In the blink of an eye, he was straight down there, and he got the heavy too. Going in for the mega, caught in the middle of it, but I think, yeah, he had to give that one up. But Raisy, he's going to follow through with the charge here. That's the awareness, knowing he's going to seize the mega, but at the same time, there's no way k1llsen was going to have more health than Raisy. And he's one of the more aggressive players in this entire scene. I mean, one of the most aggressive players out there right now. Still though, he's playing a champion as fast as Anarchy, hitting when those rails can be difficult for sure. But this is good for k1llsen, even though nothing's really happening at the moment. k1llsen does have that lead. Oh, hang on a minute, a lot of damage here. The injection is popped and Raisy drops immediately. Tries to pop the injection to keep himself alive, but ultimately the rocket's just doing too much damage too quickly. And now Raisy is on this Sorlag finally. 3 minutes in, 2 minutes left to go. Raisy, I mean, could bring this one back, but he's going to need a nice sequence. And preferably timed around the same time as Mega and Heavy respawn. Oh, Raisy spawning near the catacombs means he's extremely likely to have an LG. And that's all he needs. Sorlag, fresh off the spawn with a lightning gun, that can do magical things. Going in for the Ghost Walk. I don't think Raisy's quite prepared. Actually, no, preemptively shooting the LG, so definitely was ready for that reappear. But he's still behind. There's only a minute and a half left on the clock, too. Just keeping himself as safe as possible, really. Nice shot on that rail. But the heavy armor could be up any second now, so a lot of this damage is going to be in vain. Oh no, this is the follow-up. Where's he going with it? He is. That aggression, but there's that Ghost Walk again. Keeps himself alive. Oh, Raisy tries to follow. Misses all of the acid apart from a little bit of the damage over time. But still very low as Raisy. He can lose here. Very close. There's the mega. I'm pretty sure that's a guaranteed kill. The second he got that mega health, Raisy was not going to be able to survive that. I mean, there was no escape routes down there. Everything was going to be completely vulnerable. Didn't have the health to take it. k1llsen just needed to seize that one, and he did manage to get it. I mean, it's just been a good... That was a fantastic round. He had a good early start, quite a steady round, you know, a bit unfortunately for Raisy losing his first champion that quickly. Really put him on that back foot from the get-go. But it's also awareness of playstyles. Oh, good spawn for K1llsen, though, getting himself the Mega Health and the OG at the same time. Well, these guys have played enough times now to be super familiar with how one another actually likes to approach the game. So they're both going to, they're going to trade out their Ghost Walks there, but that's going to be in K1llsen's favor. Raisy had to try and bet the farm on an instant kill, but isn't actually able to land the shot. So K1llsen getting that first frag 2 rounds back to back is huge. I actually like the fact that Raisy opted to turn around. He knew K1llsen was right there. And the obvious approach was going to be, Sorlag's just spawned, likely he's going to get LG. He opted to just completely ignore that location and just didn't want to walk into it.
Raisy going to Sorlag next this time, instead of leaving him until last, or leaving her until last, I should say.
Oh,
you want to get picky.
But I think it's these guys have played enough to be very familiar with how one another actually approaches the game. And one thing that we saw in the first round was the fact that K1llsen directly answered back to that aggressive Anarchy with the rocket. You know, he knew that if he's going to be point blank and he's going to try and be aggressive, it increases my chance of hitting a direct rocket if he's at this range, and it's a surefire way to shut down that crazy aggression is with 2 high damage rockets, and he'll just get deleted instantly. And I think that, you know, if these guys hadn't played much before, maybe that specific play wasn't going to be as likely of an option. But they've played so much now, that is a very decent way to deal with that kind of playstyle.
You see them both crawling right now, having no idea. K1llsen has a rough idea as where Raisy might be, but he's up quiet. There we go. As soon as he realizes he's in a bad situation, Ghost Walk gets himself out of there.
But that's the huge advantage in that you're able to use the Ghost Walk in between any sort of weapon cooldown. You know, so normally in a situation where your weapon will fire at a set fire rate, like the railgun or like the rocket launcher, in between those shots, you can activate abilities. So with Nyx's Ghost Walk, if you miss a rocket and otherwise you would be vulnerable during that downtime, now you can pop the Ghost Walk and that vulnerability has gone. You know, you're completely safe and are able to escape.
Curiously, they're being put to good use already. Still though, another one of these slow pace. Looks like when K1llsen has that lead, he's really content just, you know, keeping it as steady as he can.
Unfortunately, Raisy sort of giving himself away a couple of times on top of 2 missed rails, but he doesn't miss the final one. So K1llsen opting to go for the armor first. I think going straight for Mega. If Raisy opted to chase that, 1 rail would have sorted that out.
Oh, there you go. Giving himself as low to the ground as possible, but the Ghost Walk, again, going to be used to get himself out. I think K1llsen yet to use the Ghost Walk aggressively. I think he does want to put himself in that situation.
Well, playing around the Sorlag is vital when you fight against Raisy. Like, he really is, you know, one of the premier Sorlag players in the scene. So he sort of demands an extreme level of respect when you're fighting off against this, in particular, champion when Raisy's behind the wheel. And you can just see K1llsen, like, he's saving that Ghost Walk every single time. Every single time Raisy goes point blank, you know, he's using the Ghost Walk immediately to just disengage. However, 1 rail, gets out of there! That rail would have been everything. He chases it down, but no! He falls down, he's not able to follow up.
Oh, that was such an unfortunate mistake from Raisy, and unfortunately not the first time we've seen him fumble movement today and cost him a frag. Remember earlier on against Avek, he did make a couple of mistakes in a similar fashion. So the K1llsen has to be careful.
Here he comes though. I mean, he's going towards Mega.
That's good for K1llsen, he'll be able to survive a couple of rails at least now.
But I just feel like it's a great level of patience. Like K1llsen, you know, he's sort of just playing around, staying out of range of Sorlag, and the second he gets within that range, instantly in with Ghost Walk. He's going to have that advantage of the different hitbox size as well. He's going to be a little bit harder to hit than Sorlag.
Maybe I'm going to be up to see Raisy wants to go for it, but has to be careful. Oh, taking so much damage in the process. Raisy still going to go back and commit to it. Pick up the heavy armor for sure. The 1-minute warning is now here. K1llsen does still have that champion advantage, and he's doing such a good job of just avoiding Raisy every single time he wants to fight. Might see a win by timeout at this rate.
Oh, they've encountered point blank.
Oh, Raisy, I like the patience from to turn around there. Try not to fall for the tricks, but there's only so many routes you can cover. Someone goes invisible like that.
I actually love that, using the jump pad after. Did go in for the rocket jump. He does indeed. K1llsen. Oh no! He doesn't quite cover the distance. I think the OG might have actually pushed him away. He's got no escape.
A little bit of damage from the acid, but still plenty of health left to go. 20 seconds. Thing is, Ghost Walk is quite far away from being back up again. 5-4.
I mean, if he can't get it, he does manage to get the hourglass's perfect pathing by K1llsen. He has to be so careful now. Can Raisy get it? If Raisy dies now, it's all over. If he gets K1llsen, who only has 10 health left, he has to chase right now. Oh, that miss! The miss!
Oh, he's peeking out! K1llsen just needs to stay here. Raisy decides the last
I
minute
cannot
go.
believe K1llsen even peaked that. I cannot believe he even peaked that.
I mean, maybe that's why Raisy was sitting still. Maybe he had a rail and he was just, right, if he peeks again, that's it, he's dead. But no, K1llsen playing with fire at the very end there, I think. Peeking out there, a very dangerous time. But, you know, he did win for it. Very least, 2 rounds to 0 right now. A strong and stable start for K1llsen, at the very least. He has done a consistent job of winning that first fight when it's been Nyx, but looks like Raisy's starting with Sorlag now. No more messing around.
He's pretty much, I mean, he's playing this matchup perfectly. Like, Nyx truly does have a very unique but strong answer for what makes Sorlag so dangerous in the game. The weakness of this is, obviously, if you get caught when you don't have Ghost Walk available, you're then going to be extremely vulnerable because, you know, you have a low health pool and no way to escape. However, if you, as a very talented Nyx player, can manage your cooldowns so you're never in that situation, then that, as a Nyx player, will make you very powerful in this kind of matchup.
Still though, K1llsen's missed a bunch of rails as it is, and Raisy's not going in the same fashion. He's worried about that Ghost Walk. I mean, perhaps he should just try and bait it, right? Try and go in and try and get the Ghost Walk out first. Unless K1llsen is like reacting to the acid breath, or acid spit, I should
It's definitely likely. Oh, huge damage, but also a very huge amount of damage coming out to K1llsen. Oh, almost fumbles the jump there.
almost, but fortunately for K1llsen, didn't quite mess it up.
Excellent management of the hourglasses. Just a few of those, and the cooldown is already finished.
Oh, this could be a good fight for K1llsen. Raisy very low, deciding not to fight, not to commit. As the armor, trying to top himself up as much as can.
Very brave of K1llsen to keep his Ghost Walk as well. He was a couple more ticks away from being fragged. Chases it down. Can he get Raisy? Raisy did get the Mega, so he's nice and healthy.
Again, trading that out. Raisy's gonna have a rough idea on where he is, thanks to the seeing the damage numbers through the walls. K1llsen, he has an idea on where Raisy is, but Raisy just trying to get out of there, it seems.
It almost feels like, you know, when K1llsen, if he's able to control one of these pickups, he'll definitely do it. But just if there's any way Raisy is able to take a heavy or a Mega, K1llsen has previously almost like let him take it, just to make sure, you know, as long as he's far away, I don't care. If he's landing rails from distance and keeping his health at bay, it doesn't really matter whether Raisy's taking some of these pickups. As long as he's got a Ghost Walk available and he's got a nice amount of distance to keep Raisy from being like ridiculously stacked when a fight inevitably breaks out.
Still though, approaching 3 minutes almost into this round. Could be the last one if K1llsen can take the first frag, but I think Raisy's adjustment to start with Sorlag has been huge, because it definitely seems to be his most competent survivability champion. And that has been huge for him so far. K1llsen just trying to use that Ghost Walk to get as far away as possible.
I also love how his escape routes are routes that Sorlag is, at that exact moment in time, unable to actually follow. You know, if she's going a certain speed and she's not fast enough, she's not going to be able to make that jump from bridge to rail. So if he misses the rail and he's running a good momentum, he can still activate his double jump while he's in that invisible state. So it means Raisy is going to be completely incapable of actually chasing him through there.
I like this though, K1llsen just prioritizing as many hourglasses as possible, so he always has Ghost Walk. I think there's yet to be a fight that he doesn't have Ghost Walk to get away with.
That's like I said earlier on, I mean, these guys have played more than enough times for K1llsen to kind of get that download on how to handle Raisy's
and also vice
playstyle.
versa, you know, I like to think that Raisy can have a rough idea on how to deal with K1llsen, but like I said, whatever K1llsen's doing right now is a bit more effective.
I just feel like what K1llsen's currently doing to Raisy seems very difficult for Raisy to actually deal with. But at the same time, obviously Raisy is a highly talented player himself, so no doubt he's going to have adaptations here. But
Oh,
that was clean.
Direct from that far away. That's the sweet stuff. Oh, Raisy said didn't want to commit to that route.
But right now, K1llsen clearly has a game plan for this particular opponent. He hasn't even needed his slash just yet, really. And we would normally see his slash do a lot of things, but the Nyx, the direct answer to Sorlag. And we've been talking about the champions at great length in this one match, but I truly feel like between these two players, this matchup between K1llsen's Nyx and Raisy's Sorlag is extremely prominent.
Indeed, but 30 seconds away from overtime now. And it's going to be a bit of a game changer. This is probably going to be the only matchup we'll see for this entire round. At least at this rate.
I mean, fitting, really. Oh, that's
Good
one.
shot.
If he lands a second, K1llsen may go in for the kill. Oh, ever so slightly misses. So Raisy still healthy.
No, see me. No, you don't.
Now here's the risk, using it aggressively. Now, if he encounters Raisy, he's not going to have it available.
Those escape options that Raisy might be taking, but
I wonder if Raisy knows that K1llsen has activated his Ghost Walk, though. It was pretty far away when it happened. If K1llsen just puts a toe out of place and falls down there, he was going to be absolutely gone. But here comes sudden death. The next champion kill will obviously take the round. K1llsen would quite like this one. Going up a map. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Huge damage.
Raisy very weak now, but he's got a lot of health available to him.
Oh,
What a shot from K1llsen! After all that, it came down to that one last amazing place rail shot. K1llsen now goes up one map over Raisy. We might have one map left to go, but who knows? I mean, I must say, I expected that to be a lot closer, because it seemed to be stable. Like, Raisy wasn't just getting bodied from start to finish, but they were very slow games that K1llsen seemed to be completely in control of the whole time.
It just looked very much like K1llsen had a clear game plan. And we've seen players actually have a distinct game plan versus Raisy in particular before. And I think another one of those prominent moments was when we saw Toxic face Raisy at QuakeCon. I know Raisy ultimately took that series, but on Blood Covenant in particular, maybe it's a Blood Covenant thing, where Toxic was essentially doing the same thing, but with Slash, where he was keeping distance, he was making sure he was never in range of Acid Spit, he was keeping distance all the time, he was winning by maybe one champion, maybe two champions, but it was essentially not letting Raisy play the way he really likes to play the game, and it looked frustrating to deal with and ultimately worked out for the opponent. We saw the exact same thing there done by K1llsen, and to be honest, in many ways, actually done a little bit better, because I think Nyx, as a particular champion, does a great job at playing that counter game plan because of that invincibility slash invisibility that she brings to the table with Ghost Walk.
I actually think that was the biggest deciding factor there, though, is K1llsen seems probably the most comfortable with the Sorlag matchup than anyone we've seen today so far. He just seems to be ready for how to play around Sorlag at every time they fight. But with that in mind, it looks like Raisy has selected Corrupted Keep.
That does not surprise me one bit, because it was a clear counter to the way Raisy likes to approach the game. So taking Corrupted Keep, which eliminates the immense distance game that K1llsen was trying to establish,
it will be harder for
forces close range fights.
It will be harder for him to build up Ghost Walk in between these engagements on this map, by far.
Significantly harder.
I mean, they just, for a start, there isn't the same sort of access to those hourglass pickups, but also there just isn't the space. You don't have the space to build the cooldown back on your Ghost Walk, and you don't have the actual items to take the cooldown off yourself. So you have less access to the Ghost Walk, which means you have to be a little bit more careful when you use it. But that being said, K1llsen does have access to a strong Sorlag of his own, and we know that his was it Anarchy?
It was Anarchy was his second pick, yes.
Didn't really need to see it. But we know that Anarchy can work on this map too. So even without the Nyx, I think he can still have a chance here. But we know that this is like Raisy's playground, is Corrupted Keep. So this might be a good map for Raisy. This is one that he picked, and we'll find out soon.
Well, whenever he picks this map, he tends to do incredibly well. And with this much being on the line, there's a time where Raisy needs to pull it out and play the best he's ever played for another LAN, to qualify for another LAN in Dreamhack Winter, then this is the place to do it. The warm-up is moments away from being finished. This could potentially be the final map between K1llsen and Raisy. A classic in the making between these two guys that collide in tournaments so regularly often. But here we go. It's going to be Nyx, which is to the surprise of no one. I do wonder how well he's going to be able to establish the way he approached Blood Covenant and what adaptations have to be made. Speaking of adaptations, Raisy has gone Nyx first.
We saw him try this before. Didn't really work out too well for him. He might prefer this on Corrupted Keep at the very least. Obviously, a big thing here is no rail. I know we say that every time because it never stops being relevant, but K1llsen known for that rail accuracy, and we saw exactly why that was in the first map on Blood Covenant. Now he hasn't got that. Raisy should be a little bit less funny.
There's the timing on the invisibility, nicely timed by Raisy. Doing a bit of damage. I mean, although K1llsen got the heavy armor, he's not going to be able to soak up a huge amount of damage, but it's kind of, in some ways it's almost a moot point unless they're close range, because there's so much health around those locations. If there's no one near you, you're pretty much going to get full health again.
Oh wow, and there's that first frag. Raisy's going to get it over K1llsen, so for the first time, he's going to win that mirror match at the first sort of exchange. And taking away Nyx from K1llsen, I think, is a huge statement, considering, even though K1llsen's going to get that frag, taking the Nyx away, I think, is really important.
Going back in for Anarchy, like, you so consistently see players when they face off against Anarchy, the counter tends to be Sorlag, just to like melt him down. But I just feel like a lot of this, it's such a personal matchup between these two players. They've fought together in tournaments so many times, as of recently too.
This definitely won't just be a case of champion versus champion. You know, these guys have played each other enough that it's very much they're looking into you as a player. Not to say that they wouldn't anyway, but I think with the amount they've had to play in tournament already, like, you'd be surprised if that wasn't the case. A lot of damage though coming up from those rockets. K1llsen is going to get the better of that exchange, and it's going to be forcing him onto that Sorlag. Final boss comes through.
It's a lot of work. I mean, Sorlag in many ways is the reason he goes for Corrupted Keep, so K1llsen has his work cut out for him.
So you've killed the boss at the start, you've killed the mid-boss halfway through, and now you've got to fight the big bad. You want to see the credits. Oh, Sorlag is in the way of them. Oh!
But he's doing huge damage, and the rockets!
Wait a minute. Where'd that much damage come through? I'm sure he was near the wall.
Just a lovely trail of LG, and then a nice little tag on that rocket, and it's just clearly it's a map that K1llsen himself is very prepared for too.
I mean,
it's a different style, but it's a style nonetheless.
I think long ago we passed the point that there was maps that players could be, you know, quote-unquote uncomfortable on. I don't think it's really the case. There isn't really enough maps for you to not be really good on all of them by now. It's just a personal preference thing or a way to shut down what your opponent's trying to do. But clearly K1llsen is kind of immune to that to a degree. Like, I'm sure Raisy doesn't have a weak map per se either. It's just the way that K1llsen won Blood Covenant is clearly not the only way he can beat Raisy. It's clearly not the only way he can win rounds.
But at the same time, Raisy's having a bit of a hard time. K1llsen got that first frag. And he's not messing around. He's gone Sorlag instantly.
Trying to find that early respawn frag on K1llsen. You know, that's that Raisy style. That respawn LG. Seek them out immediately.
And it's been used to great effect historically and even throughout today. You know, Raisy has been getting superb results. I just feel like K1llsen just seems to have that edge so far. And I mean,
wait a minute!
I mean, is that further proof? Do we need to say any more on the matter? Oh, stop saying that every time someone gets a telefrag. That's even in your head at the time.
I mean, she stood still. That is the ultimate. You appear, insta-kill, and you stand still long enough to say it. That's what I'd do. I'd plug in my microphone, I'd go into all chat, I'd say it, and then they'd report me.
Most likely. Who is this crazy man?
Still though, much, much better start for K1llsen coming out this time. That Nyx. Raisy already quite low on health and armor by this point.
I mean, this is at the verge of a 2-0 in a very small amount of time. I must be honest, this is not the result I was expecting. If there was one series of today that was my bet to be 3-2 last champion last round, it was gonna be this one.
Oh, considering that's basically what happened the last time they played, right? 125 FPS, I'm sure that's how close it came down. Maybe not the last time they played, but one of the most recent times they played for sure. A lot of damage coming up from this LG, the injection pop. I mean, 6 health left. Raisy very weak. He's on the verge of death, but managed to sneak away from K1llsen.
That's a very intelligent double back, actually. K1llsen was likely to chase that down, but even then, the escape route, it's not possible. Using that weakened time just to secure the heavy armor. Oh, I mean, it's just all over everywhere Raisy is trying to go. K1llsen is just that one step ahead.
See Raisy looking for him. He doesn't want to get surprised. K1llsen's been using that ghost walk so aggressively so many different times that Raisy, like, it's got to the point that it seems to be a permanent paranoia. Like, he just doesn't know that K1llsen could literally appear at any time. And that's put K1llsen on match point in 5 straight rounds?
I mean, this is a lot of momentum to ride. Raisy just needs this round, not just to stay alive, but to take all of that momentum away from K1llsen.
I mean, we've been saying ever since last week that K1llsen is just playing like a completely different man. Like, he has just been this next level dominant, that he's just making the right reads, these risky plays, and it's constantly paying off. Like, he's always getting the better of these crazy exchanges. And this is more of the same. We expected this one to go down to last map, last round, and while that still can technically happen, it doesn't look like K1llsen has any intention of this being that close.
The more you fight players in tournament, the more you are likely to just absorb how they play. And when you encounter them again, I mean, those adaptations, you've already made those adaptations because you've played them before. Now is the time to make more changes. But right now, K1llsen just seems to, he's gone into this match well studied and well prepared.
So this is good for Raisy. He has quite a lot of health at his disposal. No armor though, however. K1llsen finds him though. Is that going to be it?
no!
He dies again. Raisy losing his Sorlag from the word go, and now K1llsen has taken down his star champion.
That's a huge, huge knock on Raisy's morale, no doubt about it. Sorlag really is the champion that has been putting him on the map, and even throughout today, it's been his star champion still, and he's lost it immediately. K1llsen with an overstacked Nyx from start to finish.
And again, it's going to be Raisy going into Nyx, trying to take him down in the mirror, but K1llsen has just been looking so confident the whole time on Nyx, especially. You know, he's riding that momentum. They both have Ghost Walk available. But who's going to use it? You know, that Nyx mirror is interesting because if you use Ghost Walk first, you might actually put yourself at risk in the long run.
I mean, if K1llsen gets this chase down, quite, Raisy's out for now.
He needs to get some health desperately, but he needs to make sure he doesn't bump into K1llsen on the way.
The danger he's got.
There he is. Found him.
Danger he had was going in for heavy, and that scenario was a huge risk.
Now, this is going to be one more life. One more champion left. Raisy, and he's already been discovered.
Oh, no.
Is he chasing him? How close is he? He's behind him!
I mean, if he chases him down one final time, this will be the frag that sends K1llsen to Dreamhack. In a very surprising result, this was the series. We all expect it to be close, but K1llsen has just dominated round after round.
But this is what we're looking for, though. Potentially one more frag. You know K1llsen's looking for it. Raisy just trying to play again. You said it before, and I'll say it again. This game of cat and mouse. And right now,
oh, he springs the trap.
Prowl, he's looking.
K1llsen, he's not going to have the Ghost Walk for a little while, but he's done a fantastic job at making sure that he's just well prepared every fight. That Ghost Walk is never not available.
K1llsen seeking him. He's in the heavy armor. You see, he's got a little tiny bit of stack on the armor, but plenty of health going. But that's what makes this even worse, though. K1llsen, not only is he up in champions, he seems to be in control of the pickups too. Oh, he's waiting for him. There's a teleport to move through. Does Raisy try and fight?
I think he may see that he has no choice. He had to dedicate, but K1llsen has got his Ghost Walk available again. I mean, just the immediate shutdown of any push he had. Denied! Oh, point blank. Round the corner.
But K1llsen on this Sorlag now. I mean, you know Anarchy, one of the most vulnerable champions in the game to Sorlag. I guess Acid out, connected a little bit. Raisy, does he commit to this fight? Does he try and top himself up again? Is Raisy going to make a comeback here? That's the question. Could this actually happen?
It will be one hell of a job, but it's definitely possible.
I mean, Anarchy overstacked on Hell. This is the way to start it, but the clock is starting to be on the side of K1llsen now. 1 minute. 15 seconds left to go.
But he's not going to be able to play that sort of heavily agile game. You know, sort of just cycling around the important pickups, making sure he's hard to pin down, hard to hit, coming off good in those fights. Against Sorlag, it's just so hard to do.
I mean, even though K1llsen won't be able to pop Ghost Walk and escape the fights, he does have a lot more damage to defend himself that way. Raisy's still here. If Raisy chases now, he'll probably die. You can't afford to chase Sorlag into those close corridors.
When you're pretty much one direct away from being sent out of the tournament, every chase becomes such a massive risk!
1 minute warning. He's paying down. He can't chase him now. Oh, he's trying. He's gotten over.
Oh no, he stood in the acid! That's a horrendous turn of events.
And he got heavy armor. And the Mega Health isn't there either. He's going to know where he is. This is a bad situation for Raisy to be in. Is there any way he can escape K1llsen here?
I mean, this is K1llsen's moment. He could potentially get the frag right now. And with those 2 healths, he chases it down, but he has nowhere near the health to contest.
Yeah, Raisy cannot fight on what he's currently got. And the Mega Health goes to K1llsen. Second by second, this is getting more and more difficult for Raisy to win. And now, less than 20 seconds left to go. K1llsen is 15 seconds away from qualifying for Dreamhack Winter. 10 seconds and counting. Raisy needs to find him now. He cannot wait.
Oh no! 100 damage! That 100 damage rocket was all K1llsen needed, and with 6 straight rounds, he qualifies for Dreamhack Winter by just sheer dominance against Raisy.
the exact opposite of what I expected to happen. I thought it was going to be last map, last round, no matter what. But instead, we got 6 straight rounds from K1llsen. They were not all fast rounds, especially on Blood Covenant. They definitely played the pace, and they were potentially close. But fundamentally, it boiled down to 6-0 for K1llsen, and we will be seeing K1llsen at DreamHack Winter, where he will join the rest of the best Quake players in that Duel Cup, playing for that $150,000 prize pot. I mean, I'll be honest, K1llsen was playing so ridiculously well today, I'm surprised he was even in the losers bracket. That said, Avec was our qualifier through said winners bracket. So congratulations to both of these players. We will be seeing them again at DreamHack Winter, and we'll actually be seeing them again at DreamHack Denver as well. So